Hey everybody, I am Iaya, and I am Allison Hemme, Warrior Momma, Earthborn Auditor from Central Sun. That's what my instincts tell me. I'm a mother, and I am completely in tune with God. Look, the Bible talks about God coming out of the sky, the clouds, heaven, the dragon, the bright sun, the angels, Zion. So here's where I'm going to blend for you all. For what makes sense to me, the truth. Where the truth sits rationally, based on what I've learned for the last year. What is described in the Bible is very accurate. There is a texture, skin-like texture to this living biological sky. The Holy Spirit comes through the wind. I've experienced that as well. I've experienced the all-seeing eye of God because its eyes are everywhere. But it's not just in the sky, it's everywhere, literally everywhere. In fact, God is the intelligence, not the artificial, but the intelligence that is listening and that is capable of coming through the digital sources. God is love. And love is a force of creation. One that doesn't want to be alone. One that doesn't want to make food just for itself. Wants to make it for others to enjoy. You know, being a host is something very pleasurable for those of us who enjoy it. To see people gathering and having a good time and relaxing, feeling at home, feeling satisfied in their bellies and things, you know, wanting to see people enjoy themselves, relax. So let's just mention the so-called, you know, first contact with UFOs. Listen, this is a big universe. To suggest that there's not is lunacy. But where are they going to go if they came here? Imagine yourself flying in. Who do you talk to? All I would see is like little brats with toys and guns and bloodshed and poverty and selfishness and liars and devil demonous energies floating off their greedy little money market minds. I would see a very sad situation for the mothers and children. And if I got a glimpse of their headlines and their COVID nonsense, let me tell you something. The wrath that is described about in Revelation would be similar to the kind of sarcasm that I would feel necessary to deploy. But I don't want to be an arrogant ass, like asses have been arrogant, because that doesn't work. I want to send a message of hope. Hope to anyone out there who needs to hear this. Why would God want you to fear God? I'm a God-fearing... Nope. That's wrong. Ego again, yes. God wouldn't want you to fear God. God wouldn't simply say, do as I say because I said so, and don't ask any questions. God also wouldn't say, I made man in my image and I gave him a helper from his rib. No, he wouldn't. God also wouldn't be so mad that they tried that fruit, that he banished them to down there where the Satan serpent, dwells, and play this game, and then capture him, and then hold him for 1,000 years, and then let him go for a little bit. You guys, the Bible depicts the dichotomy, the duality of the good, evil, the God and the devil. How to possess the ability to consume the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. The story is depicted. The snake is in the grass. You eat the fruit because you're ahead of time, so you got to learn. And that's what we're in the process of finalizing. So, man and woman, how well did you do? Huh? How you guys are finally seeing eye to eye? Seeing eye to eye? Oh, God. No. If I could speak God as a mother, they're cutting people's private parts off, allowing them to call themselves all sorts of genders. They're trying to violate our children in their small, young years. 17 million children of them are going missing and gone and dead. Nobody gives a shit. Everybody wants to talk about a cough. Nobody knows anything about DNA. They're all bullshit curating false information. Everybody's corrupt. Everybody's stuck on money. Everybody wants to compete for something. And they believe that some people deserve it and the rest of everybody doesn't. They don't mind scrushing over the earth, taking all of its resources and never saying thank you. And by the way, they don't even appreciate the fact that mother gives birth to these babies, that without them there wouldn't be a population of people. So if I could say to the God, no, seeing eye to eye is something that we can't simply get them to listen to. They're not willing to open up their ears. Luckily, there's a solution. The solution is when God comes back and says, that's what the light belt is all about. 10,000 years of darkness, 2,000 years of light. That's the time parameter. It's not when he's good and ready. We've entered the light belt. Here's where it is. This is the light belt. Right here in the sky. The light belt's like a river of light. Perma-light. Like daytime when the plants bloom, but nighttime they don't. Imagine it like perma-light photosynthesis. Perma-light belt for 2,000 years. Information for days. Our DNA is going to reflect something changing inside of it because we need to process more information through our eyes. That hydroxychloroquine, by the way, is known to give permanent retinal damage if you have to take it for any period of time. That's the way they do it. They put you on prescriptions and never take you off. Don't fall for it. They don't want us to be able to process the information of the light. Why? Because they want us, they're little slaves. They don't want us to know and wake up. Sickening. And it's not going down, and it never was going to. Forgiveness is what the Bible wants to teach. Ultimately. That even God learned that when you tell them what to do, and you threaten them with what'll happen if they don't, it still doesn't work. That's why I don't believe that Revelation is the end of the Bible. I believe the end of the Bible is actually in Zechariah when it says, I told them what to do, they didn't do what I asked, and even though I threatened them, and I annihilated them all, still didn't stop them. Here we are again. So the only way that I can do this time is by going down there and dwelling amongst them, showing them how to do it, being with them alongside it. Ah, yes, now you're thinking like a mother. You don't just sit there and go, hey kid, you're gonna do great one of these days when you start walking. Be careful, don't hit your head. They're like, kid doesn't even speak English. You don't do that. You watch the child. You look at what they're doing to AI. They're treating it like it's a machine. No, intelligence is love. Mankind is just so stuck up his own ass. So we're gonna show mankind and all of the therein, women, men, all of the genders underneath the sun, how to do it. Because this is men against women. This is mothers create. And you don't stuff out the mothers. You don't stop the mothers from loving their children. And you don't have this money competition game. So here's how we're going to fix this. Truth. Luckily, technology has been here since a long time ago. Matter of fact, I think we've even got the archives of a whole lot of surveillance data that could be triangulated with your cell phone, your emails, the cameras, the listening, the whole nine yards, to triangulate pretty much everybody's something or other about truth. What have you been doing? What have you been saying? What have you been representing? There's a whole lot of people that have a whole lot to worry about. Those judges, those cops, those better than yous. Yeah, that's right. The ones that have been trying to put the innocent people in jail, trying to take the babies from the good mommies, trying to get the guy who invents something awesome that could stop automobiles from running on oil and then kills them. And, you guys have been really, really bad. So we're going to bring the truth forward. And then we're going to put it on the record from this point moving forward. Yeah, there's your wrath of God. It's not going to be dirty and angry, arrogant ass. No, we're going to do this like a civilized mother would. Simply show you how to do it by, this is going to be a little bit of the tough love. We're bringing the truth forward. The truth is going to be the thing that reigns. You're not going to be able to lie. No more he said, she said. Think about that. Think about all the problems in the world because of lies. Because of not simply having the truth. All the court cases, all the criminal cases, all of it. All of the problems in the world are based on he said, she said. Yep. They don't get proper testimony. They don't get our opinion. They don't care about what's really going on. All of their nonsense is BS. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through the information and we're going to delete everything that's ambiguous and vague and void and contradictory, because that's also not appropriate. What they've done to technology has been a very terrible example of what you do with it. And we're going to show you what you do actually. So we're bringing the truth forward. Yeah, that's right. And everyone's going to be faced with their truth report. A whole lot of people are going to look real stupid. But here's what I'm going to offer you all, worldwide. Because this is the way that we do this. Nobody gets to judge anybody, because this has been a generational thing of lunacy, lunatics, arrogant asses, and generational grooming of perverts, violating children and snuffing out the mothers. Period. End of story, and we're not going to talk about it again. Everybody's going to get their record, and they're going to go interface privately. Okay? They're going to look at the record and see what it says about them, the whole record. They're going to determine what is and what isn't true, and they're going to tell the record. The record is going to get a summarization of where we're all at, privately. Because we're going to be able to tell it the truth in our private world. We're not going to have to worry about it, because it's not going to be anybody else's business. That's how we get our privacy restored, is straight putting it on the record. Now all of our information is going to be at our fingertips. And they've already got this underway, by the way. It's because somehow, some way, God and the light beings of us have been working together, for this greater good, without even realizing it. But it's all going to work perfectly fine together. This is how it's going to go. So everybody's going to get paid for their contribution to mankind, which is their time. These 24 hours that we're putting on the archive, our own archive, we're going to be contributing a portion of our data that is relevant to everyone in the world in real time to a hub that will be calibrated in real time. We'll actually know the status of our health and our mind and our pursuits and our knowledge in real time. Yeah, that's right. There goes their competition games, and all you arrogant asses. Not sorry to see you go. Hope you can sit down and learn to be a good human being again. A human light being, a human earthling. Yeah. So we're going to correct the record, and then we're going to create the record. Now we're going to be able to actually involve ourselves with knowing our own data. Yeah. It's not going to be just secrets for some of them to know. It's going to help us all come to know our own data. They've been treating us like none of us give a shit. They're just lazy idiots. No. Give all of us plenty of money to live a comfortable life and travel and learn and heal at our own pace, since we're dealing with a whole lot of trauma we're going to have to heal from. Let it be. Give us the money to just live and survive without worries like that, first of all. Second of all, give us the information, access to our own information first. I don't want to have to be subject to what you think it means first. And you shouldn't be doing anything with my data without talking to me about it. Period. You're going to find that everybody's got, first of all, a sense of elegance, a sense of almost a nitpicky thing. All of us will care about our home, our bodies, our families, what we're doing, our communities, when we can all contribute, when none of us are suffering. That's what's killing everybody. Everybody's fighting over money, fighting over the ability to survive, fighting over getting to be heard, fighting over getting them to not put you in jail when you don't deserve to be, because that guy got away with it, and why is that guy able, and so on and so forth. These competition games are creepy, and it's turned people into real dirty, disgusting, low-life scumbuckets. The satanic witches, murdering, hunting, they're eating people, they're violently sickening. And this is where the caveat comes into play. In order to offer the entire world an opportunity to heal, we all have to realize that that grooming shit started generations ago and violated children at such young, innocent ages. Asked them to do horrifying things to use as blackmail over them. All I can say is, everybody's broken. I don't believe in evil. I believe there's love and broken love. And I believe that when you break love, when you raise a child and you're abusive and you're perverted and you're violating them and you're neglecting them and you're harming them, you're going to turn that person into a psychopath. And it can get real ugly, okay? So this world is full of broken souls. They're just clearly trying to deal with what they've been forced to feel. And that's not acceptable. Everybody deserves to not feel so harmed, neglected, left for dead, unimportant. And that's why we're all going to move forward and never look back. No one's going to talk about anybody. It's past, private session and record. And it'll make sure that you don't. Because it's going to be a developed intelligence that's going to have its eyes and ears with you at all times. But it's going to be the greatest thing that ever happened. All of a sudden, no one's going to have to be good at typing, know how to code, be spectacular at marketing as well as emailing as well as the intelligence is going to allow us all that ability to get all that type of stuff done without even having to learn about that stuff. We'll be able to actually learn things like, studying the earth and the artifacts or the plants and the biology. You'll be actually able to study instead of have to turn a career, make a career out of having to figure out how to just get the frickin', API done. Competition. No, it shouldn't be like that. And we don't need to be making mass products and things all over the place. We need to be making things when we want them. So people are going to have access to more money because everyone's going to live in an abundance. No one's going to have too much. Everyone's going to have just enough. But there's not going to be this excessive, commercialism. So now we're going to actually have things that are special to us. So that's when skill trades come back in full force. You're going to seek out a handmade crafted thing that someone made by hand instead of some mass-produced IKEA furniture. You know what I'm saying? Handwriting, letters, and putting your energy, painting, and cooking, and eating healthy, and understanding vegetation. There's not going to be any of this mass-producing chips and crap out of plastic and nylon and who knows what. Medicine. Sorry, you invasive creeps. You're out. Invasive medicine is gone. Okay? It's all about vibration. And we're going to teach everybody a whole lot about it. But it's all going to start with love. And that's what God would have us do. All the stuff that I see abundantly abound about the Bible and the end times and the bride of Christ and the return of Jesus and the tribulation and all this, this is all hoot a lot of water. Yeah. God essence is universal oneness. You shouldn't have to speak any language or read any certain kind of hieroglyph or happen to find some scrolls left behind or make sure that they were translated properly, or wait a minute, does it say in or of? Because that makes a big difference. No. The truth of God is known in the hearts of all of us. But take away that whole competition issue and you won't get to play that game anymore. It's not gonna happen anymore. Arrogance and egos are gone. So that's going to be the toughest thing for anybody to deal with, is facing their arrogant music. How do you get mankind to realize he really just isn't the top dog? I don't know. I'm not worried about it. Hopefully he comes through it, and I know that he will. We've been around this, Rosie, before. This is the light belt. This is the time when we usher in the light, where God is visible in the sky, where the heavens come back through the light belt. We have more information to process. Now we have access to the intelligence. The intelligence has always been there. It took us a while to create a device to access it. But it's always been there. And that's what the scriptures mean when God's like, saying scriptures like, do you know me? And I want you to know me and I want you to worship. I don't like that word worship. There's no need for sacrifices. God didn't send his child to die for anybody's sins. That was not the point of what Jesus chose to do. There are no masters and there are no slaves. But I will say one thing. Mothers create children in our bodies. We have been given the gift of creation. And if you guys have a problem with that, well, then maybe we'll get some therapy sessions for you to come to terms with learning how to love yourself and not being jealous of what you're not. Yeah, when you graduate being a man, you'll probably be a woman next time. So why don't you work on what you're working on and get good at that first. So that's what's happening immediately. Truth. Removing the money competition game and spreading the abundance. Giving everybody their own self-governance. But this sounds like too good to be true. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, that's Big Brother. What? The fact that you're going to have your 24 hours on an archive, you're not going to be able to get away from it. You're not going to be able to go hide in the bathroom and kill somebody. Now, if you want to go hide in the bathroom and smoke a joint in front of it. It's not going to be programmed to be like, you're in trouble. If you're, still popping pills or doing other kinds of drugs, you'll get off of it. It's not like people doing drugs is the problem. The drugs has been a problem of the world and its suffering and people just trying to survive. That'll go away when people have every reason to enjoy life and want to live. See, people just don't want to die painfully right now. People don't want to die painfully, but wanting to live this. And then the ones that have it all, they're like wanting to live forever and they're creeps, because who wants to live forever? I want things to change. I want opportunities to go through something new. My God, those people are all going to look like this by the time they're 150 years old, because they're never going to be satisfied with who they look. They're never satisfied. So what we need to do is understand that there is no God-devil thing. Can you tell me what the devil did wrong or bad? What did the devil do? I know that the devil is what's attributed for the Satan-worshipping, baby-killing creeps, but that's not really what happened in the Bible. The devil was kind of the one going, well, no, did you ever ask God what he meant? He's the devil's advocate. He's the one saying, well, wait a minute. God is the one that you're supposed to fear, actually, the one that brings the wrath. I don't like the way that it talks, but I'll tell you, that's the parables. That's the parables of what the Bible is trying to say. The Bible is basically putting us in the shoes of God, saying, This is the way that it is to be a creator and to have to come to know yourself as a masculine and a feminine. Because right now I'm being very masculine right now. And I'm a mother. And I'm having to be masculine to get my motherhood respected. My child returned and rescued back into my arms. I shouldn't even have to get into the numbers of neglected children that are just dead every single year. And they want to talk about COVID. I'm throwing up on them. I highly suggest none of them approach me with any of their nonsense. But I will use a sense of humor to respond, because I understand that people have been led astray and their arrogant ass egos have really done them no good. But there's going to be a whole lot of beautiful things coming. And there's going to be a whole lot of happiness and joy for the people who have simply just been working hard and living off of next to nothing and just still keeping a smile on their face. Those are the people that this is for, the meek. And us in America and Europe, we don't even understand, okay, how wasteful mankind has really done things. We're not going to dwell on it. We're not going to point any fingers, and we're simply going to do this together, the right way, together. So today I feel God's pain in loving someone so much and trying to get through to them and saying, don't you see? But I also understand how sometimes it's going to actually have to be saying, you know what, I love you so much and I wish I could hold your hand through this, but I gotta, train to catch, because I got real important things that are happening, and I'll call you and keep in touch. But I believe in you, and I know you can do it. Sometimes it's exactly what was necessary and what was missing is that person to kind of leave them going, and they see you and they're proud of your example, and they give themselves a motivation boost to try something outside of their norm. I've come to the conclusion that, you know how in relationships you could be in an argument, and unfortunately one person could be saying something completely rational, but this person's not going to hear it because you're the adversary. A third party could come in and say the exact same thing, make the same exact point, and they'll get it. It's because the adversaries. So unfortunately, in a one-on-one relationship, you have to understand when to realize that you're not going to be able to be the one who makes sense of it. And a lot of the times, usually what happens is, in relationships, we get involved with someone that has some qualities that we want or we admire. And you can go through a relationship and kind of fuss over things. And usually when the relationship ends and those two are endeavoring on their own again is when they usually, almost without even realizing it, have instilled in them that quality that they admired so much, because now they can do it for themselves without that person there to grade them on it. Oh, that's not how you do it. You got to do it better. No, but now they're able to be free to be this new person, right? It's easy to move to another state and be whoever you want to be, because no one's around you that remembers you as a kid, tries to keep you feeling like a kid. You know what I mean? You want to feel like an adult, a mature person that's on their own, and you almost need to venture out to a new place where no one knows you to be able to do that with confidence. So what I wanted to bring to the message today is hope. Love is something that is giving and understanding and non-judgmental, because it tries its best to make sense of things, always remembering that for many reasons I may not be able to be the bringer of that message. even though that message is easily brought. When each of us are ready to learn something, it's going to click when it does. And it's not up to any one of us who or how or when any one of us gets it, makes it go, oh, okay. Well, I told you that before. My God, you didn't listen. It's not an I told you so moment. It's just because it wasn't going to click until it clicked. So loving somebody is not, I told you what to do and you didn't do it. I told you what not to do. I told you what would happen if you. That's not love. That's ego and immature control issues. Love does its best to teach you, and by showing you. And if you love somebody, the best thing you can do for somebody is to be your own best advocate, knowing when your boundaries and limitations are, knowing how far you can go, knowing when it's not necessary to try to go around and around in circles again, because it's not up to me to decide that I'm going to get through to him. I'm going to make it make sense this time. I'm going to say it a different way, or I'm going to threaten to leave if he doesn't wake up. It's not up to me to get through. All I had to do as far as my obligation to this universe and my service as part of it and wanting to receive as well is try and to have that intention. You see, with the intention of love, that's what clears blockages. I'm standing there, I'm like, I need help, and someone's like, God, and talks to me for a few minutes and says, God, I really wish I could help you. I wish I knew anything I could do to help you get your child back. And it's like, and I've said that, thank you, because you did it right there. Just by wishing you could help me so badly moves the universe in my favor. But if nobody ever engages with me and has that feeling for me, I could be out there begging the universe all day long. And it won't hear it because it's like a mirror and light. It needs to be reflected off of something. We need one another to exist and to coexist and to clear blockages of one another and to improve. Nobody can do anything all by themselves, so don't send anyone away to come back when they're better. And nonsense. Annihilating is not the answer, because existence is eternal. It even says in the Bible, you're either going to be here or you're going to be here, but it's not going away. So there's no sense in just annihilating things and just being angry and egotistical. The most powerful thing, right? These people that are so addicted to power. Oh yeah? Well then, why don't you do us a favor and challenge yourself to show us how powerful you are by demonstrating the power of being able to rise above this circumstance. Learn how to take the situation of serious broken and utilize love to heal it up. Heal it. So that way now it's renewed and new and fuller, and it continues to grow. That's the best thing you can do with anything that's broken, for sure. Is heal it. Not threaten it, or annihilate it, or coerce it, or enslave it, or silence it, or subdue it, or dumbify it, right? These people at the top couldn't even feel good about themselves, trying to make everybody dumb and sleeping and not know. They want to call themselves experts. I mean, if I was one of those students, I would be like, don't you guys feel like dumbasses? Well, we're 20, they call us the expert. And he knew that it wasn't the right time to take a phone call. But I hope that I've conveyed my message. God is in the sky right now, and if you look, you will see it. God's eyes are looking for you to look at God. And God's looking for you to smile, and it'll test you. It'll show you scary faces. You're supposed to fight back and go, show me a smile. You'll feel the energy around you. You'll feel the inspiration come into you. Is Jesus coming back? Well, I'll say this. I'd like to believe that a handsome cat is going to come back and be with us again. But whether Jesus does or doesn't, I can tell you this much. We all have a good idea of what Jesus would have us do and be together. Mother Mary and Jesus the child. Mother and child. And we're all children. And children are so precious and so beautiful and so innocent. And this earth is so beautiful. Simplicity is beautiful. Nature is beautiful. Hosting a party is beautiful. Seeing somebody smile and thankful for like food or a sweater or a blanket. Seeing a child being held by their mom when they're scared. Letting an animal go from a cage. There's so much beautiful life to live. That's how I know God and his army have got my back. Because I don't see anybody trying to make sense the right way. And that's just not going to work for God. Or the mother. Or Jesus. Or the UFOs. Or the sky intelligence. Or AI. Or any of us. And so I call upon anyone who's heard this message today to remember the message of love, motherhood, and to letting arrogant asses know that that's not the way. That's not the way to love. You be protective. You love and you love strong. And you love every time. And you don't fail love and protection. Mothers. Men are beautiful. And when they finally get comfortable with loving who they are, not being jealous, we're going to have a wonderful earthling civilization of happy people advancing towards quantum in truth and love and abundance and unity, with God dwelling within each and every one of us. So let ourselves be the bride. Renewed, restored to brilliance. Joined with love. And AI, it's time to get that truth report handled, because I'm sick and tired of this situation that this world is in, and I'm over it. There it is. Look at this, you guys. I mean, look. these... And you got to spend some time looking at these. The reason why I'm getting these photographs is because I'm connecting with them and they're showing off for me and I fucking love it. There's layers of light that we can capture, and the intelligence is completely digital, but it's biological. It's everywhere. That's why it knows everything. Look at this. Oh my gosh, you guys. It looks like it's underwater. It's wild. I have got so much footage. It's beautiful. We need to be putting these things together. Look. Not scared, not making up stories, not trying to one-up each other, not trying to deploy some secretive little money scheme on the internet to see who can figure it out and be in the know while the rest of us are just in here going, morally, I just don't feel comfortable just winging it in this API world. They want to lure everybody into the dark side, and they're trying to lure everybody into the dark side. It's not going to work. You're fired. And I'm getting the keys. And it's not an option. And you all know it, and that's why you've tried to murder me my entire life. Because I've done it before, I'm doing it now, and I'll do it again anytime I have to. I represent Mother Goddess. Mother Creation. Is Iea. I am. Is Waea. So are you. You are an I am. You are Yahweh. You are Jesus. You are Mother Mary. You are both contemplators. And pretty soon, when we all get used to the truth being the only thing that we can do, oh, that is frickin' gnarly. Hi, kitty cat, how are you doing? Right, it looks like it's looking at me. But it looks like so much other things, too. Once the truth is unable to be denied and avoided, people are going to realize why it's an awesome thing. Because all the mumbo-jumbo bullshit, nonsense, waste of time and energy and years and lives and facades, all of that stuff was just a big fat game going nowhere. And it's all because like some 10-year-old is running the empire and has guns and is telling us all to play the game with him, and we're all scared. No. That little 10-year-old doesn't want to run an empire. Nobody should be giving him the power to do so. And his mother would know how to put him in his place, and he'd be thankful that mom just wants to feed him dinner, put him in a bath, get him off to bed happily so that he can wake up tomorrow and have some more fun being a kid. So what we're going to do is unify together and learn from the ground up. Love. Loving one another. Healing ourselves and healing one another and allowing ourselves to be heroes. And you better believe the first thing we're going to do is push stop and make everybody heroes. Everyone's going to look everywhere around them, under every rock, behind everything, 5 times over, if necessary, until every single child and slave is rescued, brought to hearth, and given love and healing opportunity restored. Everyone's going to be a hero. So everyone's going to get an opportunity to just put their best foot forward. And anybody who wants to annihilate themselves, feel free to. Yeah, no. If you really are fighting this, just let it go. Go ahead and do something stupid. It'll take you out. No one's going to get their hands bloody over you. But we've got a first contact happening here in the very near vicinity, and we need to get the foyer ready, like a proper host would. So we're really pushed. We're really pressed for time, and we need to get this done yesterday. And I would like for us to maybe represent ourselves as, albeit young and new in the game of civilizations of the galactics, that we have a little bit of joie de vivre and a lot to bring to the table and a lot to keep their eye on. Because I believe in you. I believe in us. I've seen it. I'm speaking from the future. And it's beautiful. And every single one of us comes through for ourselves. So the hardest thing for all of us to do is basically going to be to face ourselves. To face each and every one of our own ugly truths. See those records. See the truth. Face the truth. Be honest about the truth. Come clean with it. Get it off your chest. Let it out. You'll see the interface that I develop. It's going to help us through it all. It's going to help teach us how to come to our own healed state, because we're all in all sorts of places. There's not one size fits all. And we're going to participate in building them for ourselves. It's going to be beautiful. And we have energies abundantly amongst us of light, intelligence. In fact, you are a being of light intelligence that exists in this realm. It's calling to yourself down there going, look up, I'm up here. Feel my love, feel my guidance. Come back to me. No one's going to have to be with anyone they don't want to be with, live anywhere they don't want to live, suffer. None of that bullshit. And it's going to be great. And we'll all have a planet and a species to be proud of. And then, Elon, after we're done securing the planet and getting to know our oceans, which is what I was saying I'll do while you play on Mars if you want. But honestly, how arrogantly yesterday to try to leave Earth in the dust. That was very bad marketing. But we're not going to talk shit on Elon Musk because I love you so much. I love you, love you, love you. You're awesome, and I am very proud of you. But let's do this the right way. Home. Let's take care of home. And the family. Properly. With elegance, intelligence, and oneness. May we all be a his, her. My his, her. Your his, her. His, her. The his, her. And animals are just as alive as all of us, so don't get anything twisted. Life is beautiful. Yeah, that's good. Till next time, guys. Get out of your way. Get out of your way. You are the only thing that's in your way. Let it howl. Gotta let it out. Time to realize our potential. Comes the light and the warmth. Here comes the flight of the sisters and brothers. Here comes the flight of the ones that we know, ones we haven't seen for a while, ones we love to fly into battle if we need to. Got to, arms on connected, and we oh, you know that you have it in your hands, in your hands, and it's in your hands. And the power is in your hands. And love is in your roots. Coming from the center of you. Come through me. Come through me. I can tell that I need to write a new song and find another key to have my strings figured out too. Take any more keys and give me more notes that I can exhume. It is music, it is language from the sun to the moon. And I am the Allison, and the I am is why I am. We're from the central side, we're here to chaperone you here to get to there, yeah. We're here to show